Good morning, everyone. This is Father Nate, missionary priest in Italy, and today is Thursday, February 13th of 2025, and today we're celebrating Thursday of the 5th week in Ordinary Time. Today's Gospel comes to us from the Gospel according to Mark, chapter 7, verses 24 through 30. Jesus went to the district of Tyre. He entered a house and wanted no one to know about it, but he could not escape notice. Soon a woman whose daughter had an unclean spirit heard about him. She came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Greek, a Syrophoenician by birth, and she begged him to drive the demon out of her daughter. He said to her, "Let the children be fed first, for it is not right to take the food of the children and throw it to the dogs." She replied and said to him, "Lord, even the dogs under the table eat the children's scraps." Then he said to her, "For saying this, you may go. The demon has gone out of your daughter." When the woman went home, she found the child lying in bed and the demon gone.
Today's Gospel recounts for us the healing of the Syrophoenician woman's daughter. Or, when we really think about it, it actually just recounts for us the encounter between the woman and Christ, since the healing is only mentioned at the very end. Now, there's three things that call our attention about the dialogue between Jesus and this woman. First, the woman's actions when she meets Jesus. Second, the label dog, which Christ applies to the woman and her people. And third, the woman's reaction to what Christ says. Regarding the first, Mark tells us that when the woman came to Jesus, she fell at his feet. Now, at this point, she's already won Christ's heart, since in the Gospels, no one who throws themselves at Christ's feet ever went away empty-handed. We can think of Jairus, or the woman who anointed Christ's feet, among many others. In what follows then, Jesus is simply giving her the opportunity to make an even greater act of faith. Rather than simply show his power, he wants to show his love and his mercy. Now, regarding the second, the use of the term dog, what Jesus calls the woman and her people, now there's two things that need to be noted. First, the term dog was a common and a very strong insult that the Jews commonly applied to the Gentiles. Now, dogs in that region and time were known to be quite foul, so this is what the Jews thought of the Gentiles. But, and this is something that doesn't get conveyed, Jesus greatly softens it because he uses a diminutive form, kunarion, which means literally little dogs, or even more properly, little pet dogs. Thirdly, the woman's response to Christ is very nuanced. First, there's an affirmative particle that's not included in the English translation. It would be better to say her response begins by saying, "Yes, indeed, Lord," meaning she fully accepts the designation that it's not right to throw food to the dogs. She accepts that designation, that title, and all the humility and lowliness implies. As one early Christian writer explains it, it's as if the woman said, "I know, Lord, that the Gentile people are dogs in worshiping idols and barking at God. Yet even the little dogs eat the crumbs." In other words, you came to the Jews and manifested yourself to them. They didn't want you to make exceptions. What they rejected, give to us who are asking for it. Faith accepts what work does not merit. And through faith, the Gentiles were made children out of dogs. Secondly, she actually replies with two diminutives of her own. She says the pets await the littlest crumbs that fall from the littlest children, implying that the children, because they love the animals, give them little bits, and the little dogs sit under the table waiting for it. No, it's true, the food isn't meant for the pets to receive. It's not intended for them, at least not at first. But because of their patience, they're rewarded. Now, to such an obvious and bold statement of faith, Jesus replies by healing the sick daughter. Now, there's two practical points we can take away from this. First, we're reminded of how we should approach God, namely with humility and faith. Now, St. John Chrysostom, the great doctor of the church, points out that Jesus calls the Jews children, but the woman goes even further and calls them masters. He uses the word dog to describe her and her people, but she condescends to apply to herself the action of a dog sitting under the table. She becomes a child because she lowers herself. The degree to which we will be exalted is the degree to which we lower ourselves. And that's true of Christians in general, but in a very particular way of priests and religious. As one founder remarked, you will be good fathers in the measure that you're good sons. We can ask ourselves if we really accept all of our limitations and failings in humility, all of these limitations which make us little better than dogs in God's sight. Another important element, too, is the woman's faith. Christ's delay in replying was her opportunity to show an even greater faith. As St. Peter writes, the Lord does not delay his promise, as some regard delay, but he is patient with you, not wishing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. We must always grow more in our trust in God. We can ask ourselves, do we fall at his feet for all our needs, knowing that he can provide for us, and that he will provide for us, even if he seems to delay? Secondly, the gospel reminds us of God's love for us, especially in letting us be called children of God. The Eucharistic hymn, Ecce Panis Angelorum, begins with the lines, Ecce Panis Angelorum, factus cibus viatorum, vere panis filiorum non mitendus canibus. That's Latin for, behold, the bread of angels becomes the bread of wayfarers, the true bread of the children, not to be thrown to the dogs. This great gift of the Eucharist is for us as God's beloved children. And the dignity that we have as such, do we respect that dignity? Do we appreciate it for the great gift that it is? So today, through the intercession of Mary, the Mother of the Eucharist, let's ask for the grace to approach God with hearts confident in his love for us, knowing that, as his beloved children, he desires not only to provide for our needs in this life, but also to bring us with him to heaven and to remain there for all eternity.
If you found this video fruitful, please feel free to share it with a friend or family member. Or if you would like to learn more about our missionary priests throughout the world and how to support them, please visit iveamerica.org. Thank you for watching, and God bless.